All right. Okay. Let's get this thing started. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready. Oh well, this is gonna have to have an issue with my screen saying I can work through it.
Okay. You need us to wait a moment.
Um, why is this? All right, I can see enough of it. If you guys can see me fine, we're good, and we'll just roll with the technology snafu I'm having on my end.
Okay. What I do want to do though, because I cannot see, it's going to go away for a second, guys. I cannot see how to. Can I need to see this. Okay. So forgive me if it pops in and out real quick. That's the only way I can get to my other document. Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay,
All
let's
right.
go.
All right, so welcome. This is Team OSR, and we are doing our case study. Today is March 1st, 2024, and it is now 4 p.m. Members in our team, we have Olivia Fagan, John Ferguson, and myself, Roger Jackson. Our agenda for today is share one Easter moment, our norms. We're going to have a case study introduction, then we're going to do a discussion, and then we'll close out with sort of a review of what we've done for today. So hello, Olivia. Hello, Sean.
Hey, Roger.
How are you guys today?
We are
Amazing.
great. Thank you.
That's awesome. So let's jump right into this. And if you don't mind, if this will, there we go. So Easter just passed. Any awesome thing that you want to share?
Well,
Yes. Go ahead, Olivia.
okay. Well, it was my daughter's first Easter, so I thought that was sweet. And I put her in this really fluffy dress that this lady at church bought her. She ended
Oh.
up slobbering all over it, but I just thought, it was fun, having a new baby on Easter. And then we had a breakfast at church right after our sunrise service. And we had a great turnout, and it was really good.
Wonderful.
What color was the dress?
It was pink and cream.
I bet that was beautiful. I love to see the little girls in their, flurry dresses and the little boys all dressed up nice.
Yep. It's
Mhm.
sweet.
Awesome. What about you, Sean?
Oh, it's great. We obviously went to church, and then my youngest and I got to sing in the Hallelujah chorus at the end of the service.
Awesome. Y'all did it for the church or just by yourselves?
It was part of the church at the end of the service for the Hallelujah chorus. They call anybody who wants to go up and join the choir comes up, grabs a book, finds a place in the choir, and makes a joyful noise.
That's so cool. We never done anything like that. You had to be at choir rehearsal to be in the choir.
It was a lot of fun. I told my son we're going up. It's like just follow the person next to you
Uh-huh.
and don't try to outsing anybody, and the regular choir will carry you right on along.
That's awesome. So yeah, we had a great Easter weekend, family fun, church food, the whole nine, right? So one of my highlights was we played a game called, I think it's called Right, Middle, Left, or something like that. But
Okay.
everybody comes in with $3 and you have three dice and you roll the dice. And if it says pass to the left, you have to give it to the person on the left, the right, and the center, you put it in the middle. So whoever has the dollar at the end gets all the money in the middle. So I won the first round. So I was like, yay, I won like $30. So I was so happy.
That's cool. I've
I,
never heard
I
of that, but that sounds fun.
yeah. And I did not even know my camera wasn't on. Let's see here. Again, I get
There
so
you
many.
go.
There we go. Okay. All right. Yeah. So share one Easter moment. Yeah, that was so cool, man. My family loved games. That's all we ever do.
I love
Oh,
games
that's so much
too.
fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm
All
looking forward to playing more games with mine when this stuff is done. We're on our break between semesters.
What do you do? Y'all do 9 on, 2 off, or 3 off?
We're in block, so it's
Oh,
going to get a little quiet. We are a couple weeks into the fourth quarter, and then this course will end, and then I get a little bit of a break before we start up with the summer school for here. Then I'll have to scurry through finals and everything at the end of May for work, and then off to school, teach some summer school, and get some hours this summer.
Yeah, I got to figure out summer job myself. I haven't done that yet. Anyone want to read our norms for us?
I can do it. So the norms are to be present and attentive to the topics at hand, be kind in responses, as all ideas are important and to each other. Come prepared with work complete and ready to share. Be positive about all matters. We are the change agents. Be on time, which means we end on time. Communicate if you need help, having a problem or an emergency. Have an open mind and a growth mindset. And then once we make a decision, we all invest in it as it is our very own, 100%.
Awesome. Thank you. Sean, agree with those?
Oh, sounds great. Love them.
Awesome. I love them as well. Okay. We want to split this introduction up, or anybody want to talk about the case before we start?
I can give it a go.
Okay.
All right. So in this case study, the principal was wanting to shift the method of observations. Looks like she was trying to shift to more of a PLC approach, a community learning approach to observations. To start doing that, the principal calls together a leading group of teachers in the school to have a meeting on the topic. The group of teachers offer the principal some recommendations, basically saying, hey, let's do this by grade level team, see what they recommend. They had some ideas on how to handle confidentiality, how to be encouraging through the process, to addressing some concerns that teachers had. The principal agreed. Everybody went out to the school. They have grade level meetings. Uh, 3 of the grade levels had great plans on words just fell out of my head about collaboration, how to do that through peer coaching and observations. That was the K through, I believe, second grade. Fourth and fifth, they had a satisfactory plan, not quite as robust in the feedback they were going to provide each other. And then the third grade teachers stuck their heels in and were not going to did not want to participate in the plan. It did note in the case study that these were veteran teachers who were not very open to change. And the case study moves on and discusses how the principal uses one of the lead teachers in the school to work with the third grade teachers, so a more appropriate plan comes up, though the third grade teachers never quite get to full collaboration there. Please add to anything I've missed.
I think you did a good job. Yeah, I think the third grade teachers did not get to their collaboration. I think they depended on, well, really wanted to depend on the administration to give them their evaluations, but that wasn't the system that Donna wanted to put in place. Right. She wanted some collaboration. I feel like she was trying to build that efficacy and that empowerment amongst her teachers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that was pretty much the bulk of that. Um, I think I have two like questions, not really questions, or just things to talk about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you, as a leader in your school, well, we know we determine like what teachers are better, what teachers are worse, or I shouldn't say worse, but who needs more improvement, right? Um, so this is my group that I'm going to pull these 7 teachers out. Now, how do you think that makes the other teachers feel?
Well, the case study said that those were the most respected teachers in the school. So I'm assuming that the principal has done, and it said the principal had been in the school, I think, for like 15 years. So some observation. And I think it was Whitaker who was talking about observe your teachers, observe who the folks go to for advice. And if you're pulling those people in, and they're solid teachers, to give you advice on how to institute this new program, I think that the view of the teachers you pull in is going to be accepted by the other teachers. They're already naturally going to them for advice in the first place. So I think that was a smart move.
I think, sorry, you go ahead.
No, please go ahead, Olivia.
I think though, if you're trying to build advocacy and empowerment, and then there's always those teachers who get picked first, I think it does make others feel less than, which I understand. You can't get the whole, like, it's not feasible to get the whole school body or all the teachers involved in forming how they're going to do the observation. So it's something that's hard because you don't want, everybody knows that there's going to be better teachers and there's going to be teachers that care more and provide better leadership. But it is a hard act to balance because
Mhm.
you don't, I mean, think about, like, if I think about the teacher coming to me and saying, okay, I talked with the principal and we need to do this, I think, well, why didn't they talk to me? Why am I not involved in this? So that's a hard balance to fix. But it has to be done. I mean, it's one of those things that you have to have, like at the high school level, we have department heads. So, um, it kind of has to be one of those things that's done. But I do feel like sometimes it makes those other teachers who aren't involved in the process of forming the change. I think it makes them probably feel down about themselves.
And I think you've got a good point. And I think what Donna did, principal in the case study, did as a opening move of let me go pull the teachers on the faculty who the faculty appear to respect.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get their opinion. I think where there's a jump that could have taken place, which is okay. Even in elementary school, you're going to have team leads, you're going to have grade level leads, but bring that core in. What are y'all's good ideas? How should we go do this? And then pull the formal leaders in the school forward for each grade level, if you're going by grade level, and go, okay, what do y'all think? Here's some ideas. We need guidelines for firm guidelines to go back out to. Essentially, she's trying to start PLCs at a great per grade level in the school. And okay, what do you guys think? Go forth, accomplish, and do good things. And now has the informal leadership behind her, and then she gets the formal leadership behind her. And I think that overcomes some of what you're talking about, Olivia. Like, okay, naturally the principal's going to go talk to the team leads, or naturally the principal is going to bring in the department chairs or department heads first, because they're the formal peer leaders in the school, and then use them once you've got them on board to start shaping those professional learning communities at those grade levels.
When I was looking at the questions, though, the first question talking about how could Donna have provided, or what guidelines could she have provided teachers before their grade level meetings? She didn't give any specifics, and I think that's why you end up having the problem with first or pre-K, kindergarten, and first grade having great, they created a great exceptional plan. And then you have second, fourth, and fifth, which created a satisfactory plan. And then third grade who completed, they were like, no, we're not going to, like, we don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Because the principal did not have any kind of guideline. She was like, hey, we're going to try this, talk with your grade level, see what's happening. And then they were like, third grade was like, no. So I think if you had specific criteria, okay, this needs to happen, create a plan on how you want this, how you want these observations to happen, how you want these meetings to happen, what do you want, ideas towards the observation. Um even just a like a document that had specific feedback guidelines about the meeting, but she didn't provide them anything. So that's why you get all these different grade levels with different plans.
I was thinking like even something as simple as a little rubric or something, as far as
Right.
would be an outstanding plan, a well accomplished plan. I think that if we are building empowerment and if we're building that efficacy, right, I believe that it is also important that we have to consider those other people who might have been left out of this step. Not necessarily include them in this step, but think about how they might have felt, and how do we really get their buy-in when we're ready to include them. I'm that teacher that everybody comes to. Everybody asks me questions. I'm on every committee, not because I want to be, because they just won't leave me alone, right? Um, so, so I get that, like, oh yeah, they'll follow me because this is what I say is right, right? Just like today, a teacher came up and says, "Well, I want to run this by you," and they are creating um, a list of or a way for teachers to communicate with the Learning Hub so that the students will always have work in Learning Hub, even if it's no specific work for the student, right? So they're trying to open up communications. And so they're asking me about this. But what I'm saying is that, yeah, they'll come to me as that leader teacher, right? But then also they'll still come to me and they'll also say like, oh, yeah, I still feel left out of this or I felt left out of that, right? And we're grown, you can't be a part of everything, but when you're consistently left out, because like I say, I'm on every committee. I don't want to be, but that's just how it rolls, right? But we have other educated people who are able to do these committees and can be on these committees and
Well,
work.
with that, I think as a future principal, it's good to analyze, like, I think people just go ask the same people.
Mm.
Whereas I think what you're talking about, giving everybody opportunity, I think it would be good to analyze every employee and then ask them to be on specific committees that would fit their personality or fit their strengths instead of just going to ask the always strong teachers. If you divided everything up and had committees with weak teachers and strong teachers, that would also build the weak teachers' confidence and their leadership. So I think as a future principal, that
Yeah.
would be to just say, hey, we need everybody on the committee and then put them on specific committees, because if you just go up and ask them, that would make them feel good too about being a part of something.
But something I also notice here that may not actually be 100% aligned the way it need to be is that just because I teach second grade doesn't necessarily mean I'm the best person to make that plan. Now, generally speaking, we would think that would be right. But I may be stronger at doing something else opposed to making a plan. So again, I just, my thought process is let me know what my teachers can do, their strengths, their weaknesses, and I want to utilize them in the strongest ways possible.
And that's where I think in this case study, the guidelines to the grades were the really the weak area on what is the vision. So the grade levels need to understand what is the vision we're trying to reach,
Mm-hmm.
and what is the minimum acceptable, and where you've gone overboard. And that's the trick here, is figuring out what is enough bandwidth to give the teams uh, room to build their own plan so that they have buy-in because they built the plan, but the plan is similar enough across grade levels, because this is each grade. You don't need to have your, let me back and say this, you don't know who's going to be around next year.
Right.
Somebody may leave, or you may want to have teachers shifting grade levels around. And I was honestly in this case study, my mom's was an elementary school teacher and principal for years, and I'm
Mhm.
not surprised that whoever the case study picked third grade, because third grade is where you put some of your strong teachers. Most of your strong teachers in elementary school are third and fifth. Those are big years.
Mhm.
Um, so that third grade dug in its heels was not a surprise. What did surprise me, though, is if they did know, if this was not an unknown problem when the principal started this. And I'm pretty sure that whoever wrote the case, they say, yeah, throw this one out here. How, if you know that's a problem, you know you have a grade level that doesn't want to change, how do you go diffuse this before you have to spend another 2 weeks waiting on them to come up with a better plan, because you're pretty sure you're not going to get a good plan in the first place.
Got it. Being proactive, right?
And also the other point I was saying is teachers are going to move between grade levels. So your kindergarten plan can't be so wildly different from your fourth grade plan. So when they swap levels, they're now, you've lost buy-in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just writing that down. I like that. Um, I think that what do I have here for the plan to be effective for the instructional purposes? I think that it's gonna each plan will need to pinpoint the best practices in education and kind of determine how we're going to say these are the stronger practices and these are the ones that we need to grow on and we need to work on. Also, by doing this effectively, it may make learning more engaging and fun for the scholars in the classroom. There are more charts up, there's more interaction between them and the teacher. Higher order thinking skills become more natural to go up instead of, like forced going up to different levels.
Also, I think with other teachers doing more observations, it gives other teachers ideas for successful learning practices
Yeah.
because, I mean, if you're going in and out of different teachers' classrooms, you're going to get ideas of, oh, this worked or oh, this didn't work. And so I think it just will help the overall grade level, or the school do better because some people just naturally are very creative and some people aren't. And so, something simple you could watch and say, oh, wow, that really worked with kindergartners. When I try and do that, it doesn't work. So here's a new way I can do it.
I really liked how all the grade levels focused on a positive way to do peer coaching. None of the feedback was ever, you're not good at this. It was either, this was awesome, I loved it, or I saw this, it was good, it could be better done, fill in the blank. It was always approached as a challenge to be overcome or something to improve, not this was terrible. I really, really liked that when I was reading through all of their plans.
Yeah, that's that careful and that considerate feedback that we want, right? We don't want
That
to
is,
but we want to make sure that you understand the things that we want you to improve, but we want to do it in a way where you accept it, not where you roll your eyes.
exactly.
Yeah.
There was, I wrote something else down when I was reading through this one here. Oh, that was wrote it down. So what I liked about their discussion is collective efficacy, that John Hattie talks about as the number one. Uh, if you see that in a school, that is the number one indicator of student success, or that you're going to have successful students. And what I liked about how they were doing that when they were observing each other, well, that's the start of it. As the what they need to also make sure, and I don't remember if I read this in the case study, is once you get done with those observations, that feedback needs to go back. There needs to be that discussion of that reflection time of how did we do, how could we do better? I liked it. How do I do better? So that was good in there. And the other thing when I was reading this that came through my mind is you don't you don't really know where you are weak at when you're just reflecting on yourself. At least I don't. That's why I love it when people come in and watch me, because it's another set of eyes to go, hey, did you know you do blank? And I'm looking at them, I had absolutely no idea that happened. Okay, appreciate it, honest, awesome. I'm gonna go work on that. So
And that's so funny because I was talking to my student teacher today and I was telling him how I let my Mac read all my assignments back to me and I catch so many things that I would not have caught, like, oh, I would never thought about that. Yeah, I need to do that, right? I think that when it comes to the evaluation and how the Donna can allow this new process to how she can find out if it's actually being successful. What I thought was, well, look at your scores and your evaluation process that you had before the processes and see what you get after the processes and do a comparison and see what the change may be. I think that's one way that she can find out if it's working or not.
I love that.
I wrote this down. It's from Todd Whitaker's book, the newest version, and it says, I learned from going in different classrooms, techniques and approaches that somebody else could model in other classrooms. So it literally says, going in other people's classrooms, you can learn and teach those techniques. So that's how I think it could also be implemented how you could evaluate if the observation format was working. If you see one teacher who is great in a leading school, and then you go into a beginning teacher's classroom and you see, oh, they're using this technique or this approach. I'm sure they saw it during their observation. I think that is also a way you can say, oh, it's working. The students are listening better. They're sitting down and actually learning. They're writing these words, they're sounding things out. I think just observations in general can help teachers do better.
So, with that said, maybe there needed to be a section on their document that offered something like that, right? What did I see that I don't do, or something like that?
Right.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that's awesome.
I like the way you said that one. I like that. Say that again, Roger, real quick.
What did I see that I don't do?
So we're getting so many good ideas when we're administrators or whatever we are gonna be. They're gonna be like, who are these people? They're
Okay,
so smart.
I like that one.
but
And
that,
I like what you said too. I didn't think about the um because my idea of a summative evaluation of this program was okay, go look at your annual test scores, and if you're increasing teacher collective efficacy, then your benchmark scores at the end of the year, uh, are you seeing an improvement? I didn't think about the go look at the evaluation scores that you've been giving in the past, and are overall, do you believe your teachers are teaching better because of this process? That's a great idea.
yeah, I think that'll give you some good data.
Hmm.
I think it'll give you. I like it better than looking at the end of year testing scores, because you're looking at a baseline data that you've already collected. That's a great idea.
Oh yeah, that's you're correct, and then you have that exact data to compare it to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, that's real smart to do, I think.
I think you hit on a
I
great
mean,
one there.
I think that of course numbers are super important, but also other types of observations, just looking at the difference. If you had a
Mm-hmm.
student who is constantly misbehaving, if you change one thing and look at their behavior, you
Mm-hmm.
can tell so many different things. But same thing with teachers. If they're doing all these observations and if they weren't able to teach reading effectively, and then all of a sudden their students are like, oh my gosh, Miss So and so or Mr. So and so, I can read this whole book now. Something's changed for the better.
Mm-hmm. Well, I also think you could even train the teachers in like Marzano's high yield checklist that we were using. Um, that you could also give them something like that, and that's one of the things I noticed in the case study. They never talked about the um,
The high,
how.
yeah, the high yield
Yeah,
strategies.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I think those are really cool. And for me, like it almost feels like no matter where you are, if you're running those 9 strategies, you're
Mhm.
gonna be okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because when I love that because they give you so many different ideas just on the like the I'm think, wow, that's great. I'll use these. I mean, if it's a
Talking
high
about the
yield
description,
strategy,
right? Yeah,
yeah.
Yes.
yeah. Oh my God, I love those descriptions. They were awesome. All right, guys, we got 10 minutes. Let's close out here. Um, So today we talked a lot about efficacy and building empowerment amongst teacher leaders by the administration. One thing that we thought Donna could have done maybe was build a plan, one plan, and made it similar across all grade levels. Use the teachers for their immediate strengths. Um, be proactive, right? Think before it happens, and then put something in place in case it happens. Pinpoint your best practices, whether you're doing observations, teacher observations, peer observations, but it's important to have those best practices in as many classrooms as possible. Teachers learn from teachers, right? What worked, what did not work. We talked about a positive way to do peer coaching, like all of their plans, they were positive. Let's push this forward in a positive way. Let's get rid of anything that's negative, and let's work on careful and considerate feedback for everybody. Um, Sean told us that if we see efficacy in the building, that is the number one indicator of success that's happening. And just two more, three more. Reflect on the feedback that you're given. Have others help you. Others can see more about yourself than you can sometimes. And what did I see that I don't do is maybe a possibility to add to the chart. Any other wrapping up things, guys?
I thought one more there, looking that you had mentioned, looking at the observations that had been done previously before implementation of the system and comparing them to the observations post implementation to look at program effectiveness.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome. Did you have anything, Olivia?
I think that covered it.
Okay, awesome. Well, this is Team OSR. We are signing out. Thank you for listening. And team, love you guys. We are almost done with this first class. Wow, can you believe it? It's
I
almost
can't. This is awesome.
Yeah,
I'm so glad.
I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna be just fine because when you can do what we're doing, hold it a full-time job, family, and pump out good grades and smile like y'all smiling, y'all are so beautiful. It's awesome. We're gonna be just fine.
Hey,
I
I
hope
love this team. I
I
hope we get
know.
to stay here the whole
I
time.
was going to say I hope we get to stay.
You hear that, doctors, our professors.
Yes. No splitty. Stay same.
Yes, we can stay just us three. We love each other. We're great. All right,
Yes.
guys. I'll go ahead and kick this off. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good night. Enjoy your break. Mine is over. We're back at work. Yeah. The sad
Good
face.
luck.
I know.
We'll be fine. All right, y'all. Have a good day, okay?
You
All
too.
right. Love you guys. Talk to you later.
Love you.
All right.
Bye.
You too.
Bye.
Come on.